Welcome to the Beth and Nicole Show with Kingdom Providence, where we help you elevate God's kingdom in your life. We are so excited you're joining us today because I have a very special guest, my personal trainer, Misty Jameson, and I am so blessed to find her because y'all know I needed some exercise in my life, let's just say that. And so she has helped me tremendously, but one thing I loved right away when I met Misty is she has a gym called the Women of Strength Gym, a faith and fitness gym. And I was like, oh, yes, joining fitness and faith, that's my gig, that's my thing. So that was so cool to see you, obviously being out in the open with, your faith and then, fitness and tying it all together. So we'd just love to hear your story. Like, how did you become so... Because she's fit, guys. She's super fit. And very nice, though. So how did you, get into health and fitness? And, I know you've had some competition in your life and all that. And
okay, well, first, I want to just thank you guys so much for having me on your podcast. Yes. This is, I'm really nervous about it. This is uncharted territory. But obviously that means this is where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Because, when we are feeling confident and everything, we probably need to get on our knees and ask God, where is it really that you want me? So
yes, that's a good point.
But thank you guys so much. So I just being a faith-based business, I don't know why I wouldn't be, because when Christ is the center of your life, when you have really given the Lord your life and said, use me as your vessel, and I just don't know why you wouldn't be just so out there with it. And what I really wanted to create an environment for women that wouldn't feel comfortable walking into a gym, and women that need to be in the gym. I think every woman needs to be in the gym, but to create an environment where she felt safe, secure, and where she could build confidence there. And so to be able to say, this is, this is where you are welcome. We've just really had some really wonderful clients just come in that has just really helped flourish the business, really. People such as yourself, and so I'm just very grateful that I'm able to be a servant of the Lord and be able to serve women and help them along their health and fitness journey.
That's awesome. So how did you come to know the Lord? Where did that start for you?
So I've always known Jesus. My mother was a drug addict. She went to prison. I almost ended up in foster care. My grandmother brought me in. She was a praying grandma. So praise the Lord for those grandmas out there that are just down on their knees. And
how old were you?
So I was 10 when we had lived with her off and on my whole life, really. Okay. My mother had me at a very, very young age. She really did the best that she could with what she was dealing with herself at the time. As I've grown and really had the Lord, really heal me through that. That's what I've come to realize that she did. She did the best that she could with the circumstances that she had at the time. And then when she went to prison, right before there's custody battles, stuff like that. So my grandmother did end up getting custody of me and or guardianship, actually. So so my grandmother had me in church, and I was probably 11 when I went across the street to this little church that had a vacation Bible school during the summer. That's when we had an altar call, and I went up to the front And like I said, I've just always known about Jesus, but it wasn't really until my early 30s that I really dedicated my life to Christ. And where I was really seeking Him and really living my life for the Lord. So I am proud to say that I am a daughter of the King of Kings.
Yes.
I wear the crown proudly. It's a little crooked a lot of the times, but yeah.
I love it. Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, and just different people we've had on the show of how important it is. There's always been someone in someone's life that was standing in the gap, right? Praying for them. And we talk about praying mothers, the importance, and praying grandmothers, and praying friends.
Yes.
How important that is to have someone that is, lifting you up in prayer and guiding you along. That's so cool. So how did you what kind of led you, not everybody wants to own a gym. I do not want to own a gym. I want to keep working out, but I don't have the results to do that. But how did you get into all that?
God showed me a vision early on that I would own a gym. So I thought I would probably buy a gym. In my mind, I was like, okay, I'll probably end up buying this gym or that gym. And I was always kind of looking to see if there was any gyms for sale. I approached business owners I knew that were kind of in trouble and, offered to, buy, and it never worked out. So, because that's not what the Lord had it planned. And so I started off doing boot camps in the area. We had men and women. I really felt like the Lord wanted a space just for women, so I kicked the men out. We had space for women. That grew, and then the Lord just pushed me in another direction and was like, okay, that was great, your time's done there, now let's go ahead and have you do more training, personal training for women. I had this 3-car garage, and I converted the garage into a gym, and I ran the gym out of the garage. We were overflowing. Parking was an issue, of course. I wanted to be a good neighbor, and so I waited. Once my son graduated college, I got him off the payroll, and then I was able to, the Lord, my friend actually said, it is time. We cannot be in this garage anymore. There's no room. It is time for you to find a place. And so she actually got online and was looking at different places. It just so happened that one of the buildings that there used to be a gym there years ago was available and was in the price range, and that's where we ended up. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
one thing I love about your gym is it's small to where it feels quaint, and you feel like you really kind of know everybody there,
right?
And then that it's all women.
I love that too. That's incredible, because you don't want to. Sometimes you just want to be with women. You don't want to be in the mix of all of that and the grunting and the.
Well, and I think too, there's an intimidation for someone. I mean, I'm speaking for myself that was why I didn't go to a normal gym. Because and that's why our studio used to be my workout room. I had a mirror, I had all my weights, and I got kicked out when my son started his show, and which I'm thankful for, but that's what led me to find you, because I was like, okay, I don't have a space in my house anymore. And but I was one of the girls that would say I'm intimidated to go and work out next to a guy. I didn't want any hindrances, right? I just wanted to be able to work out and not be thinking, is someone looking at me and making fun of me, or so I love that about your place.
So our focus is to get women like that into the gym, and we want to get them off of the cardio machines, and we want to get them comfortable on the gym floor where they're lifting weights, and they're able to lift, start off light, but then they're able to build their strength up. That's it's really important, for, to combat osteoporosis. We are really, health focused. So we want to focus on our health first. We want that environment where we love men. If it wasn't for the wonderful men in my life, we wouldn't be open. We had, tons of men coming out to help us move in, move equipment around, to do maintenance and to help me. And even God has brought men in my life that are helping me on this owning a business journey. I will say now I'm very knowledgeable about fitness and nutrition. Now I am, but the business side of it, that's where I'm like, whoa, But God does send men into my life to help me to navigate, and good Christian men.
That's awesome.
He just brings us what we need when we need it, right? So, cool. But the environment, we do want the women to come in where it's just women, so that, first of all, we know that that's why they're there. They are there to work on their health, and they're, this isn't a dating site, right? Exactly. I don't want to be a babysitter, right? Yeah. I really want women to be able to focus on their health and fitness, and to be able to do that, to honor their bodies for Christ.
Well, I love it too, because you have scripture up, and people walk in knowing, who you are, really just immediately, just on your branding and what you have in your gym. But then you feel it too. You feel it in the ladies, because women can be mean too, right?
Yes.
But you feel it in there to where everyone is supportive. It might take you a little bit of time to meet or open up and talk to another woman in there, but you feel that culture that you've created.
Yes.
Everybody's there to support one another and root everybody on, and so I love that.
Yeah.
I love that this is a ministry for you, and that people are coming in and they're knowing that, okay, I'm taking care of my body for God, but also you're ministering to these women. Like, it is truly amazing. And we talk about kingdom influencers all the time on our show, and that you've taken this mountain of wellness and fitness, business, family, and you've integrated it into a place where you're ministering to these people, and it's just incredible. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome, because the first time I met you, I came and was kind of like, okay, I'm scoping everything out, and I had talked to a few other people, because I wasn't sure at the time, like, who I was going to jump in with, but I knew after that day, I was like, okay, this is my girl. And
you came and told me about her.
I know.
She was like, you have to meet her. She's so amazing. And you were telling me about the temple, her story about
So when I first went in there, first of all, I did not feel intimidated at all. You were super welcoming, and like made me feel just like, not shameful of the condition my body was in. But you said something that was just like striking to me, and I had never heard it this way, but we were talking about, I don't even know how it came up, to be honest, but you said, like, just as in the Old Testament when the temple was being built, God was very meticulous, right? He was very methodical on like exactly what to use, measurements to exact, materials. Yeah. And why would he not now in the New Testament, with our bodies being the temple of God, should we not be that meticulous about what we put in? And it struck me. It literally changed my mind on. And I was already there, like Kirk and I we've been for a while, switching over to organic, being more conscious, all those things. But then, there's times where you don't. I don't know. It just hit me so hard, because I was like, wow. Right.
That's amazing. He's the same God then as he is today, right?
Yes.
He has not changed. So
exactly.
That the Lord revealed that to me during my journey. I had some health issues, and he just revealed that to me. I was reading in the Old Testament, and I was like, oh my, okay, this is what, oh my goodness, like it was the materials, and they weren't cheap materials, right? And it wasn't just because they were expensive, but yes, the quality, right? And just, and I don't know about you, but when I grew up, I just remember my aunts and my grandmother and even my mom. Everybody was on a diet, all the time. They were constantly trying losing weight, right?
The next fad.
That was just, and it was like, I mean, the fin thing was a big deal. The, you know, all that stuff, and then as a young woman, you grow up and you're seeing this, and you're like, okay, well, this is just the thing. So I was always on a diet because I didn't like my appearance, and so I was striving to really hone in my appearance. I wanted to look good, and I didn't even know what that was supposed to look like, right? If I look at pictures,
we have really skewed images today of what that actually looks like.
Yes, and then the people that I was looking up to, Victoria's Secret's models and that kind of thing. So we grew up in that kind of environment, and which is what the enemy wants, right? He wants us to look at it, as something perverted,
right?
When in actuality, God is like, I have things that I've called you to do, and in order for you to do the things I've called you to do, you've got to be healthy. You can't be self-absorbed and focused on your appearance. You need to be focusing on your health. If you are healthy, then you are going to be able to carry out what I've called you to do.
Yes,
we do have a responsibility. He does equip us, but we do have a responsibility ourselves to take care of ourselves, and not for because so many women will come to me and go, I just feel guilty. I feel guilty for taking time to come work out, or I feel guilty for spending the time to make my meals, or no, that's the enemy that is constantly trying to pervert something that God has created, for us to honor our bodies for His glory.
That's so good.
It is good.
Because it's that preparation of the time you take to prepare to have a strong, and that's what I've it's helped me. You've helped me so much of seeing just even it's not about, do I want a six-pack, guys? Yes. Am I gonna get it? Probably not. But if I feel strong, I have noticed my strength of how I hold myself, my posture, all that's becoming stronger. So therefore, I feel better and feel good. I have the energy to actually go and do, like you said, to accomplish the thing that God wants me to accomplish.
Right.
And it's so mental too. For me, exercise is so good for your brain. It's not only so excellent for your body, but the peace that it brings. The refreshing, the mental clarity, it's your whole entire body.
Yes.
So it what you said, even just the fact that you're doing it and you're setting aside the time for yourself, there's a reward in that in itself.
Right.
Just in for sure.
There is a lot of data out there now that there's nobody will argue with that shows that exercise is one of the best medicines. It helps with stress, anxiety, depression, and it's really, really important for our mental health. And again, at Women of Strength, even our logo is 3 parts, right? So it's not just your body, because we were made of more than just a body, mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
And so that's where the logo comes from. And Women
cool.
of Strength, Women of Strength Gym is from Proverbs 31. So yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, and you have competed.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay.
Because recently you had, which I didn't even know this, I walked into the gym one day and you were helping one of a
competitor.
Yeah, competitor. And
bodybuilding?
Bikini.
Yes. Okay. It was really cute because all the girls were watching for my reaction. I don't know if you knew this was happening.
Okay.
She was standing by the door and she was doing one of the poses. I thought it was a mannequin. That's how good her body was, guys. I mean, I literally thought it was a mannequin when I first walked in. And of course, I'm short and she was tall. And so you can imagine what was at my eye level.
And she had her heels on.
Yes. So everybody in the gym saw me go. Take it down.
I can visualize that right now.
And then I realized it was a real person. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was amazing.
Yeah. So once I started working on my health. Of course, the physique just kind of came with that. And I just really enjoyed working out. I have a competitive spirit. Once my grandmother had guardianship of me, I really, Karate Kid was big during that time. And I wanted to do karate so bad. And it just so happened that she was like, okay, let's try that. Let's check this stuff out, right? So I did competitively. I got into Taekwondo, and I was competitive until I was 18.
Wow.
And then, anyway, so I just kind of had that little competitive spirit anyway. So while I was in the gym, just working out, just doing my thing, people kept asking me, are you going to compete? And I was like, compete what? Like, I had no clue what they were talking about. And they're like, bodybuilding shows, you're not getting ready for a show? And I was like, I don't know what that is. So then I start kind of looking into it, and then I find a coach, and then I was coached, again, how God brings people into your life. And this guy was an old school bodybuilding coach, which is exactly what that was me. Like, I was like, this is heaven. This is heaven
like
on
Karate
earth.
Kid, you were
yes, I loved it. Oh, I did. I loved the torture. I loved it.
Wow.
all. So anyway,
So that's why you torture us.
Yes. So then I did, and I thought, because I would read in all the articles, it was like, oh, it's going to be a 12 week prep. I'll be ready in 12 weeks. 12 weeks was the magic number, right? So I get there. Well, bless his heart, he never said you're going to be ready in 12 weeks, or you're not, or girl, you got a long ways to go. He didn't say a word. He was just like, okay, just come in here every day. Just, I just need you to just focus on, all you're going to do is you're going to be a robot. I tell you what to do, you do what I say. And of course, I had that mentality already as an athlete's mentality. So I did it, and I was just like, when am I going to get to do this show? When am I going to? This went on for well over a year, and then finally, I get to compete. Hated it. Hated show day.
Oh, no.
Love the prep. Love everything else about it. Show day was not for me. So then I decided, okay, well, so I go, I'm retiring. After my first show, I did the one. I go, I'm retiring. I'm not doing that anymore. So about a year ago, and it's like having a baby. You forget about all the pain, after a while. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do another show. I'm coming out of retirement. So I go and do another show. It's a cycle. So, right. And so, again, I still don't really particularly like show day. I do love training my athletes. I love to watch them go out on stage and to show, the hard work that they've done. That's very rewarding. And to just see, just see them perform. It's
so cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Do you have any other questions or anything?
No, I need to get in that gym.
Yeah, you do. I would love it. We'd love to have you.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'd love it.
Well, we'll
It's great.
share information on the show below so that you can see how to get in touch with Misty and how to find out about her training facility. So,
Women of Strength, Faith and Fitness Gym. So we'll definitely put your website on there and any other information you want us to share on there in the show notes. So thank you so much for being on our show. We've loved it, and for sure Misty is a great resource for you if you're looking to get fit and also tie up with someone that intertwines faith and fitness together. So thank you guys for watching the show. We will see you next time.